in New York, I've been going to the same guy for many years, since I've lived here before. And then I went back to him when I moved back here. And I was just curious, I'm guessing, well, what's your relationship with people who've cut your hair? Do you have the same person you go to even?
So first of all, I think that's a traditional, that happens for lots of people. Isn't that like your hair person is almost like a therapist?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. For me, I can't imagine, because also I just love getting my hair done on a regular, I go like every 6 weeks. I can't imagine going to somebody that I wouldn't want to just hang with and have a conversation with and have something in common with. Yes.
Right. In other words, it doesn't feel like a service. Also, the traditional barbershop, like in the movies, like it's an epicenter. It's almost like it can become like for gangs and whatnot. It could be like Switzerland. It's the place where, you don't try to kill each other kind of thing, anyway, sorry, I went that way. But when I was a kid, I had a regular barber for sure. I don't remember. After your parents are cutting your hair with the bowl haircut type thing, and then you realize, oh my God, I need a real haircut, because I look stupid.
I've been cutting my daughter's hair for.
But she probably has long hair.
It's pretty easy. Yeah.
When you're doing a short haircut, it can be dicey.
Yeah.
So anyway, and actually, I remember my dad took a really cool picture of me as a kid getting a haircut. I forget by who. So I think, you have a regular barber, and then when you break free from your parents, you then, start going to a regular, and I used to go to St. Mark's, to the famous, not St. Mark's, Astor Place. Mm-hmm. St. Mark's Comics, Astor Place haircutters. So I used to go to I think it might not have been a regular haircutter. It might have been just who was free, who was open to cut my hair. But it was a good haircut always. And so then after that, I believe when I moved to Thompson Street in Soho, there was a barber next to a restaurant that I eventually would start working at that was kind of famous, and I forget the name of it. And you would wait a good hour sitting there to get a haircut.
Why wouldn't you just make it? You don't make an appointment at a barber. You just walk right in.
You walk right in.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's different for guys usually, and then also you meet people, you read a newspaper, whatever. You get to hear what's going on, locally, kind of the conversations, that kind of a thing. It's a relationship in that way, kind of like what you're talking about in a private way, And then before I moved to Brooklyn, I remember someone was learning how to cut hair at a place. And I thought, and they were going to give me a free haircut. Mm-hmm. And I thought, that's not going to be too bad.
And
what happened?
That sounds terrible.
Not only did they, I'm not saying I have a great haircut right now. It's long and whatnot, but they cut my hair so tight that you might as well just taken a shaver and giving me like a military, and it wasn't even that, where it's like, really short on the sides, a little bit on top or something. Not that that's what I look good at all in, but they just kept cutting and cutting and combing and cutting. And I think they realized they messed up. And I remember at the end, they're like, okay, there's your haircut. I hope you like it. Oh, and they were like, you look so good. And I'm like, you're lying. You're lying to me. And now I hate, and it's going to take a little while. And I remember feeling really depressed. And
there's nothing more depressing than a bad
haircut can mess you up for a while. Who knew? All right. And then the answer finally, I moved to Brooklyn about 24 years ago, and I discovered a barber named Alana. Mm-hmm. And she's really cool. And she's basically been cutting my hair for about 24 years.
Wow.
And I do have her number, and I do call. And I was like, Alana, how many people you got? She'd be like 1 or 2 or whatever. Come down in like 20 minutes or a half hour or whatever. Give me a time frame. And then she holds my spot because other people start coming in. Yeah. And then she'll say, oh, someone's coming in, and hold my spot. And she's great. And I love her.
Wow, that's really good.
So yeah.
I didn't know that you've been going the same person for so long.
I know. And I didn't think about that until you asked the question, and that's been that long.
That's a really long relationship.
And I'm trying to think, did I go to her when I first moved here? Probably not, because maybe I was still like the carryover where I used to go in Manhattan before moving to Brooklyn, right? Because you got to then break that relationship with certain people.
Yeah.
Just because of geography, really.
Oh, it's so yeah. It's heartbreaking when you gotta break it.
Have you ever had a bad haircut?
Oh, I'm sure. Well, when I was in college, that's the first time when I would go get my hair, whatever, you're on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a guy, and I told him, like, it was when I was, still am, but I was very into Winona Ryder, and I was like, I want to work my way to this. I really want like a super short, like when she had like a pixie, very 90s haircut. And I would go to him, and he would cut just a little bit at a time, and like, because my hair was super long, like just a little bit. And I'd get braver and braver. And then like finally one day I was like, I'm ready. And I had that picture. I know it was from Us Magazine, picture of Winona Ryder, and he did it. And actually that was okay, except for, when I went home and stuff, and everybody was like, what'd you do to your hair? But, I've had some risky, I don't think they've been bad. They've just been a little, maybe too trendy. Like I had like super short bangs for a little while, and those don't look good. I mean, you gotta be a special face to pull off a mini bang. And I've had like a shag situation.
It's almost like you have to look good bald.
And it's
for a mini bang. Like you might as well be. It's like a drawn in fringe or something.
And it's so bad because I used to have a job where I did stuff on the internet, and some people just feel like they will freely tell you how they hate your hair with no like, who did your hair? Like, what happened there? But I don't know. I've rocked the same look at this point for a long, long time.
But did you ever get like depressed? Like I remember actually, I didn't want to go outside. And again,
that's
maybe
awful.
it's a vanity thing or something. But like, I'm not like a model or anything. But it felt awful.
Yeah.
There was nothing I could do. I couldn't comb it this way or comb it. There was nothing to do, and let it grow. Oh, and I remember I had to go. I went to an indie Comic-Con like that coming weekend, and I just had to bite the bullet and be like, "This is how I look right now. This is what happened." So.
Well, I tell because I cut my daughter's hair, and I find it very meditative. I love doing it. I cut people's hair, and I gave people terrible haircuts. I have given more terrible haircuts than I have received.
But the meditative part.
Yeah, I like it because it's very calming and stuff.
You don't feel anxiety at all cutting someone's hair.
Well, I mean, hers I don't, because that's a pretty simple thing. I mean, I don't know, like that. Not too much. No. But if she ever thinks that I'm taking too much off or whatever, I just tell her, look, the best thing about hair is it grows. It grows.
It grows back.
Grows back. Oh my gosh, that ties into the quote in my newsletter this week. You know what it is? It's a Sammy Davis Jr. quote, and he said, let me try to get it accurate. Losing a lover is like getting a bad haircut. In time, it grows back. Is that even a good quote? I don't even know.
The lover grows back. When?
Wait, maybe I got it.
I don't even understand. As a lover, is that like a zombie look? Like grow? Like...
I think I may have gotten it wrong. I think that here, hold on. Is that all?